Imagine you're at a party. You walk out onto the dance floor, you look up, and the disco ball is going to fall.
Oh no, what happened?
It's fine, everyone. It was just a cake. If that happened, that would be crazy. Let's make this disco ball cake a reality. My name is Natalie Sideserf, and I make cakes that don't look like cakes. And today I'm going to show you how I made a disco ball cake. A disco ball is a ball covered in small mirrors. When you point light at it, it reflects the light, and it's all woo! I need the ball to be perfectly round, so I'm using this mold to make half a chocolate sphere and then the other half of the chocolate sphere, and later I'm gonna sandwich them together to make one full ball. Now, the tricky part about this cake is that there is nothing that I know of that is both edible and reflective. So I'm going to attempt to create the illusion of a bunch of little mirrors. I have no clue if this is gonna work, but I wanna try anyway, because if this does work, this could be a technique that I could use on all kinds of cakes. I really want it to work. I have an idea for another cake that uses a similar illusion technique as this one, but it's a little different. You know what?
Let's make that cake too!
This half chocolate sphere looks really good, so let's get started on the second illusion cake. The second cake that I'm going to make using an illusion is a bottle of nail polish. You guys have asked for this cake. I've wanted to make this cake forever, but I haven't yet because, well, what do you notice about these bottles? The bottom is see-through. It's glass, except for that pink one. I've thought about using gelatin for the clear glass, but then how do I get cake on the inside? So I'm gonna try something different. I'm going to try to create the illusion of glass, just like I'm trying to create the illusion of mirrors for the disco ball. I'm going to make 3 nail polishes today, but I don't know which shaped bottles I want to make yet. So I'm making a mold of all 5. Then I can pick my 3 favorites later. I'm excited to make these nail polishes, but before we move on, let's go back to the disco ball. To fill my chocolate disco ball full of cake, I'm carving 2 half-sphere cakes. So I got half a circle and then the other half of a circle. Working on a cake that is the shape of a ball is not gonna be easy, because balls roll. I gotta come up with a way to keep this cake from rolling off my table. How about a round cake pan? I think this is gonna work. So I'm placing the chocolate over the cake. I flip the cake, so now the cake is inside the half circle. And now I place it on my round cake pan. Yeah, look at that. It's not rolling around at all. Nice and secure. That was a pretty good idea. Now I just gotta place the other chocolate half on top and seal it up. All right, I'm feeling good about this. I've got a nice sturdy round cake. Now I've just gotta figure out the mirror illusion. Let's work on the nail polishes first, because I got a lot to work on with those. You know, when I first started this channel, I hesitated to try difficult techniques like today's illusion technique, because I was afraid if the cake didn't look perfect, you guys would think I wasn't very good at making cakes. So I stayed in my safe zone, and I only made cakes I knew I could do well. But over the years, I got over all that, because I realized if I don't push myself, I'm not gonna get any better. It's like this. I fail, I succeed. I fail, I succeed. You have to have those failures in order to get better. Even with all those failures, I'm still a much better artist than when I started. The only thing that would be terrible in my eyes is if I didn't try at all. You can't be innovative if you don't even try. So hopefully these cakes work out today. But either way, I'm happy I'm making them. The chocolate has set. Let's see how they look. Ah, very nice. These are cute. I want to make 3 different nail polish cakes today. And since this is a cake experiment, I've decided on these 3 bottles, because each one will require a slightly different illusion. I'll show you what I mean in just a bit. But first, let's figure out the disco ball illusion. Like I said earlier, there is no such thing as an edible mirror. So to create the illusion of a mirror, I took photos of the disco ball from a bunch of different angles, and I made this. This is my mirror grid, printed out on edible paper. I made one for the top half of the ball and the bottom. I rolled out modeling chocolate, placed the edible paper on top, and now I'm cutting out all those little rectangles. And this is way harder than I thought it was gonna be. It's not cutting clean. The modeling chocolate keeps spewing out the sides. The edible paper isn't like resting on the modeling chocolate like I want it to. It kind of shifts and then the modeling chocolate shows and it just looks sloppy. This is not gonna work. Forget it, we gotta do something else. I'm gonna cut out all the rectangles using a paper trimmer. That way I know that all my lines are nice and clean. I thought having modeling chocolate behind each paper rectangle would make working with them easier.
I don't know what I was thinking.
This is much easier. There are a lot of mirrors on this disco ball. Just cutting and cutting and cutting. All right, I cut a ton. I gotta get started, I really wanna start. Let's bring out the chocolate ball. I'm starting with the middle row. I feel like this is how a real disco ball is assembled. The middle row is the most straight. I just gotta make sure they all line up as best I can. There's a lot of little mirrors, but I'm in the zone and I'm like, I feel like a cake scientist doing experimentations. Wait, why am I evil? Is it warm in here? Because I feel like it's getting warm in here. It's gotta be these studio lights beating on me. I mean, look at these things. Now I gotta get underneath the ball, so I gotta move the cake. Do you wear clothes or know someone who does? Well, get yourself some more by heading over to sideserfcakes.com. That's where you can get some Sideserf Cake Studio clothes. Like this shirt of Paige, the cake notebook. I just got this apron in.
And I love it.
I also got a shirt of Bob the Boba, Larry the Onion. And all designs come in kid and adult sizes. But not just t-shirts, there's all kinds of stuff. I'll put a link below so you don't get lost on your way to the store. And now back to the cake. I'm all worried about the mirror illusion and my cake is secretly laughing at me. You don't even know I'm broken. Wait until you see my bum. I'm sad and I'm panicked. The whole bottom broke off. Turns out placing my cake on the round cake pan
That was a pretty good idea.
was not a good idea. The only thing I can think to do is try to reattach the bottom. Oh, whoa, don't go falling off the table, cake. I've got enough on my plate here. I'm spreading melted chocolate along the edge and I'm placing the broken piece back on. This is scary because the chocolate ball is now even less sturdy than it was when it was whole. I'm gonna have to be really careful while I finish adding the rest of the mirrors. And I don't even know if the illusion is gonna work yet. Speaking of illusion, I gotta get back to the nail polish bottles. Let's work on the first, and what I believe to be is the easiest of the nail polish bottles. There's no glass on this one, so my plan is to paint it pink and then add a shimmer on there so it looks like it's a little shiny, just like the real bottle. Now I've got to paint logos on all of these bottles, otherwise they just don't feel as real. So I'm hand painting a white logo on the side, and it isn't showing up. Like you can't even see the white. As I paint, the pink color underneath is just mixing in with my white. So it's not white anymore. It's like the logo is just disappearing as I paint it. Okay, that's not gonna work. So I'm just trying to clean it up and make it look solid again. Maybe I can cut out a logo with edible paper. Now I'm not going for a specific brand here. I'm just going for something made up. I'm making it up. A lot of real nail polish logos are like really detailed. It's gonna be way too hard to try to cut out those shapes with paper. So this is my nail polish brand. It is a circle with then the circles cut out and there's like a little circle on the bottom. I don't know, I think it's cute. Now I'm just placing it on the side of the cake and it is working much better than when I tried to hand paint it. Let's move on to the next nail polish illusion. For this one, I'm going to try to create the illusion of this fogged glass. It's not transparent and clear, it's a bit translucent. It's frosted glass. And that's a cake pun. I am going to hand paint this illusion. I'm adding gray along the edges. And I've got to make this look really soft. There's no harsh lighting, it's just this nice, clean, soft gradient. From the gray to the blue. This cake is meant to be viewed from one angle only. It's gonna look real weird from the side, but if you look at it from the front, it should look real? I love hand painting things, so I'm having a lot of fun with this. Now the last nail polish is the green nail polish, and the glass on that one is super clear. So I'm gonna try to hand paint this illusion as well. This is very different from the frosted glass. The shadows are very, very dark and the highlights are super light. It's not a gradual, smooth look. There's really harsh lines and colors in this one. And I have to say, I think this is the most difficult illusion of all the nail polishes. I'm trying to paint depth in glass. I don't know about this one. I want to know what you think about all of today's cakes. Do you think some of the illusions worked, some didn't? All of them did, none of them did? I want to hear what you think. We're almost done. I'm a little nervous. All right, are you guys ready to see all of today's illusion cakes? And there you have it, a nail polish cake. Starting out with the pink one, and I'm loving that shine. I think it looks shiny just like the real one. All right, let's cut the cake. And on to the blue nail polish. The frosted glass nail polish. I even tried to hand paint the little writing at the bottom. Let's cut the cake. And now the green nail polish. Trying to paint this to look like clear glass was super challenging. I do think it looks pretty neat though. I can't wait to cut this one. Let's destroy it. And on to the final cake, the disco ball cake. What do you guys think? Could this pass as a disco ball? Does it look like mirrors? Like the nail polishes, this is meant to be seen from one angle only. But look at all those rectangles. So many different reflections and shadows. I think this looks really neat. Now, I'm not gonna cut this one. I'm gonna do something a little different. Oh, that was so fun. I'm gonna drop all my cakes from now on. If you guys like this video, and subscribe to my channel. I've got some really fun cakes coming up. And I'll see you next time for another cake.